It's going to say some. So for all the guests on the line today, my name is Elias Astuto. I'm the Director of Sales and Coaching for Fast Real Estate. This group is all about collaboration. This group is all about the collective wisdom. And this is an opportunity for us to grow and learn from each other. I look at myself as being a moderator of thought, moderator of growth. And you guys are all here for two reasons. A, you guys want to grow, and two, you want to contribute. You may have something that you want to say. You maybe want to grab the mic and share and contribute at the highest level. And that's why this environment was built. So I'd like to thank all of our guests and welcome back to all of our team members. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Dan Stenberg, and Dan Stenberg is going to lead us out on the field. So big dog, let's go. Let's hear from you. I appreciate you taking my call earlier. So Dan Stenberg.
All right. So everyone, good morning. Happy Wednesday. Got a lot of stuff going on today. I'm really excited about this session because I think as the market has been shifting, it has been all about growth and expansion, changing tactics, finding new ways to generate business and opportunity. And so I'm super excited to hear what Steven has to say, because I think as things get tighter, we have to really expand our tool set and improve our skills here. So this is going to be an amazing session. I got my notepad ready for ideas here, and I hope all of you do too. So let's get it. Let's focus and learn some new things.
I love it, Dan. I love it. And I think that you're absolutely right. We're in a time that it's going to cause us and force us to be a little bit more creative in the way that we go about business. Now, John Cheplack said this last week, that what got you here will get you there. What I mean by that, if you've had any level of success, you got there because you followed up, you prospected, you knocked on doors, and you did that, and you were able to have some level of success. Well, now it's time where we truly double down, triple down, and intensify all of our efforts in order to achieve the things that we need to achieve in this business. Now, what I loved about seeing Steven's presentation, I just saw it last week in Vegas, was that he's tapping into feeder markets, and he's tapping into really building alliances with other agents in other markets. And we've seen this for months and months, winning on all different levels, people collaborating with people in Texas, sharing their posts back and forth, being able to communicate with them, and being able to understand where people are coming from in your market. For example, we're here in San Francisco. Statistics stated that last year, 35% of the people that moved to Sacramento came from the Bay Area. Obviously, we have that relationship because a large majority of our team is in the Bay Area, but I don't think about it on a bigger scale, and we should, and that's why Steven's here today. So Steven has built his business on a referral agent-to-agent basis, and that is his number one lead source right now. So I'm really excited about this. So Steven, if you can, let's do some official introductions, how long you've been in the game, and how this idea started to come to fruition. Walk us through some of the numbers, bro, and then the floor is yours. I'm going to give you share screen rights. So without further ado, Steven Hurd, dialing in from Orange County. Appreciate you, big dog. Thank you for being here. And let's go ahead and turn the mic over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Elias. And I am beyond grateful to speak to you guys today. My name is Steven Hurd. I'm here in Orange County, California. And this year we'll do a little over 20 million in volume. It's my wife and I. And our office is right here in Rancho Santa Margarita. I saw we had some people in Costa Mesa, Irvine area, so we're a little bit south of you, but I'm excited to be on the call with you guys today. And as Elias was sharing, we're going to talk about feeder markets. And one of the biggest feeder markets that we have is San Francisco and the Bay Area. So super excited about that. So a little quick background. I've been licensed actually for over 13 years, and I was on a team for the last 6 years as an inside sales agent. So I was the lead inside sales agent on the team. I really honed in my skills, practicing an hour and a half, 2 hours a day on scripting, and I became the highest paid inside sales agent that I was aware of in the entire country. And so I had wanted to be on a team forever. I had loved the thought of a team. I love collaborating with people, as you guys will all see here. And I love the energy, right? I think about Team Fast. And as I was preparing for this, I was looking through your guys' Instagram profile on Team Fast, and I was hearing all your stories, hearing about somebody got someone so much for their home. I think her name was Jung Hee, that the people were able to retire early. And I was like, man, that is so awesome. The power of real estate, right? So as I was kind of like thinking about that, I was thinking, how can I really give you guys some tactical tools that you can use to build your business? But taking it back for a second. So I loved everything about the team, and I decided, you know what, my income potential had capped on the team. At an inside sales agent, even being the highest paid, there's really not a lot of room to grow from there. And I didn't really want to work as a buyer's agent or a listing agent. So I decided to start my own team in 2020. Now I'll share my my screen with you guys as we go through the presentation. Raise your hands if you guys can see this. So just let me know that you guys can see it. I see hands up. Cool. So as I left to join, to start on my own in 2020, I thought that that was a great time to, you know, to start, right? That seemed like the perfect year. The only problem was I had just bought what I thought was my dream home. Now I want you guys to keep this throughout the entire presentation. My mortgage payment, my bills, everything I needed to net $9,000 a month just to survive. I had just bought my dream home and I was so excited, and I'm sitting there. That's 2019. I leave the team in 2020. The government gets on the television and says, everybody's not allowed to go to work anymore. Realtors are not essential. You can't really do anything. And at that moment, if I said to you, my wife and I were sitting on the couch, and if I told you I didn't panic, I'd be lying to you. Because at that moment, I'm like, crap, I need to find a way to get business. I can't go outside. I can't do open houses. I can't door knock. I can't do the things that I know I'm going to be great at and that I know are going to get me business. So fast forward, I had to come up with a solution. And I decided I was going to go after agent to agent referrals. I saw an opportunity because the agent to agent referrals are open to anyone. And as I was thinking about you guys and thinking about the FAST group and the movement you guys are doing, the thing that stood out to me is you guys aren't afraid to be who you are. That's one of the things that I see in all of your videos, is that you guys are authentically unique. And so that's one of the reasons why agent to agent referrals will work so well for you guys, because you can literally build a business off of people just like you. A lot of my referral partners are just like me. Some of your referral partners are going to be just like you. And that's the beauty of it. So keep that in your mind. The world had shut down. I'm trying to figure out how to pay my mortgage. And I was in what I thought to be my dream home. So now I'm going to walk you through some of the tactics and the solutions that I had to go through. Tactic number one in developing my agent to agent referrals is I had to develop connections with agents who are most likely to refer me. Okay. You guys, that obviously makes sense, right? If a divorce attorney or a probate attorney or a bankruptcy attorney is in your network, you're more likely to get a referral from them than you are from somebody who maybe works at the post office. They could be a great friend of yours. They could be a great connection, but they're not what in sales we call a key account. A key account is somebody who can refer you consistently, your ideal client, right? So I had to determine the feeder cities. Where is everybody moving from to Orange County? Prior to COVID, they were coming from out of California. Most of our people were moving out. 9 out of every 10 clients I've helped sell their home moves out of California, Idaho, Texas, other areas, right? So most people are moving out, but where were people coming from? And during COVID, you know, people wanted a place that they could go that was clean, had a great job market, low on crime, and was cheaper, that was less expensive than the Bay Area. And so we had a lot of people who, now that they got to work remote, we had all these great people that were high up in tech companies, making a lot of money, and they had that freedom and flexibility to go live where they wanted to. So we were able to determine where people were coming from. So number one for us, San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose, San Ramon, all those areas, right? Number two for us, Los Angeles. Number three, San Diego. So what did I do? I set out to develop connections in those areas where I could get the most referrals from, okay? So if you guys are thinking, you know, for yourselves, where do I get agent referral from? You have to ask, where are people moving from to San Francisco, right? And so, or where are they moving from to Oakland or the other areas that you guys serve, right? So with that being said, how do you find those agents? Because I don't just want to refer my clients to anybody, right? That's solid gold. If I'm going to pass you solid gold, I'm going to make sure that you're the type of person that I know is going to get it safely to the bank. And how do I do that? I research these agents. I look them up. I look in the areas where I want to get referrals, and I get, you know, look at their Zillow profile. I look at their Facebook. I look at their production. I look at the type of people they are. Now, I'm not as concerned about, are they selling 1 billion homes? Here's why. I actually don't want my clients passed off to a team member, right? I actually want my clients passed off to somebody that I know, that I have a connection with. I'm fine if it's a person on a team, but I want to know that person on the team. I don't want to know the team leader, then it gets passed off to the team member. Raise your hand if that makes sense to you guys, that you want to know the person you're sending a referral to. Cool. So with that being said, I want to find that agent that's a good values fit. If they're a good values fit, they're likely going to be a good referral partner. So I'm reading their bio on their website. I'm looking at their Facebook. I'm seeing, is this person positive? Is this person a lighthouse? Is this person out there being a market leader? Are they trying to help? They're trying to serve. Some of my referral partners sell, 12, 15 homes a year, and they're great agents. They're so focused on, building that business and high level activity. Some of them sell 600 or 700 homes a year, and that's cool too. But I need to know who I'm sending the referral to. So I'm researching the agents, then I'm cold calling to connect. So let's say Elias was an agent that I was like, man, dude, this guy's energy is off the freaking charts. He's willing to jump through the roof to make a Zoom happen. Like, this guy's committed. And so I'm going to call him and I'm going to say, hey, Elias, this is Steven Hurd. I'm a real estate agent here in Orange County, California. I've built a business off of agent to agent referrals, and I'm looking for a solid agent in the San Francisco area. Currently, I don't have anyone to send my clients to. I was wondering if you'd be open to a conversation. Super simple script, authentic script. What are they going to say? No, I hate referrals. Stop calling me, right? No, they're going to be excited about having you call them and try to give them referrals. So I'm going to say, awesome. What I'd love to do is get to know a little bit about your business. That way, when I send you a referral, I know that there's going to be a solid connection there. And I'd love to schedule a call to talk about that further. I know now is probably not a good time. When are you available? My goal is 2 calls a week, okay? So twice a week, I'm meeting with other agents via Zoom or on the phone, and I'm trying to build that connection. I'm asking them, tell me your real estate story. Tell me your customer service philosophy. Tell me a little bit about what you're doing in your business. What challenges are you having? How could I support you? And my goal is not to convince them to refer me. Okay, my goal is to convince them that I'm their sincere friend and that I want to help their business. And guess what happens when you want to help people's business? They get excited and intentional about referring you. Sometimes I'll get off a call with an agent referral partner and they'll be like, man, you just poured into me so much. I'm going to look this week for who I can refer you to. That's called having an advocate. Raise your hand if you guys would love to have advocates all over the country. That's a good business model, right? So each week I'll get 1 or 2 emails or text messages or calls from agents saying, hey, Nancy in my office has a referral for Mission Viejo or Lake Forest or Irvine or Rancho Santa Margarita or Laguna Beach, right? And she's like, I told her you're the best agent in town. Here's her number, give her a call, okay? So that's the key, is cold call to connect. And then you want to follow up with an email. So what I have for my agent referral partners when I take someone in, now here's the beauty of it, by the way. Again, I'm looking for people in my tribe, and I'm looking for people in who are quality referral partners. I want no more than 50 to 75. That's what's so cool about it. So I'm looking for people in my tribe. I'm looking for people who share the same values. Some of you guys might be avid mountain bikers. Man, it'd be great to connect with other agents across the country who are avid mountain bikers. Some of you are starting a family. Man, it'd be great to connect with other people who are starting a family. Some of you are living you're young, you're single, you are having the time of your life, and you're going to want to connect with other people who are young, single, having the time of their life. So it's all about finding your tribe. And that's what's so cool. You get to select who you want to be your partner. Now, the second thing I mentioned in that is I don't want a big list. I can't manage 100 people. I can't go deep in the relationship. I can't know about their birthday, their kids, their family, their struggles, their hurts. It's all about them. It's all about them, right? So I want to go deep in the relationship. So I need no more than 50 to 75. That is enough to produce me $250,000 in gross commission income just from this lead source, is just 50 to 75 people. And right now I have, I would say I'm really intentionally on top of about 35 of them. So that's not a bad way to do business, right? So Then they get a follow-up email campaign after we connect. It's going to be it's going to be 4 to 6 weeks of emails. Here's what you need to know about Steven. Here's the area Steven serves. That's the only place I'm really talking about myself. Now, after our first call, I'm spending 20 minutes talking all about them. They're going to ask me, tell me about yourself. And then I'm going to just share, here's the areas I serve, here's my production, here's the success stories I have, and I have a list of references. I can give you 30 realtors who I've closed sales with who would rave about the service that I gave the client. And so that gives me some credibility for them to refer me with confidence, okay? So that's important. Everybody clear on tactic number 1, developing the connections with other agents? If anybody's unclear about that, just comment in the chat, and I will kind of address some questions in the chat. So moving on in that, tactic number 2, we're going to give you 3 tactics and 2 resources and 1 solution. Tactic number 2 is build an agent-focused Facebook group, okay? If you see a lot of these top producing agents, why do they all have Facebook groups? Think about who's part of Lab Coat Agents. If you guys are part of Lab Coat Agents, probably all of us on here, there's 162,000 agents in that group. Why do they start a Facebook group? Is it because they like to be on Facebook all day? Is it because they want to get distracted when they're out there selling real estate? No, you guys know how it is. When a client calls, you need to go. You need to answer that call. You need to be ready, right? And so a lot of us don't want to be on Facebook all day, but that is where your clients are at. The average person looks at Facebook 32 times a day. I would guesstimate the average realtor looks at it 50 or more times a day. Because not only are they looking at what other people are doing, they're also seeing who's commenting on their posts and if they're getting engagement, because you want to measure that, right? So if agents are on Facebook, you need to develop a Facebook group to where you can teach them things, add value to them, nurture them. I'll give you an example. So I have the Hurd Way Real Estate Mastermind group. If anyone wants to join, you can scan that QR code. In this group, I have about 2,800 realtors across the country, and I'm just pouring in resources to them day in and day out. So if you go in there, one of my recent posts was, here's every piece of paperwork I put up at an open house. Because I put up testimonials, I put up value propositions, I do all these things. So I'm sharing everything that I'm doing with no expectation of receiving in return. And what do you think their response is? I'd like to refer the guy who's helping me get more business. I'd like to refer the guy who's being a go-giver. So my strategy is literally this. If any of you guys have read The Giving Tree, one of my favorite sales books, also a children's book, but I call it a sales book because it's all about being a go-giver, being there to help people, serve people, love on people. And so if you go into that group, that's what you'll see a lot of. So in that group, you're going to want to teach people, what do you crush it at? What steps are you taking to crush with that? What are the nuances in each step? And document the journey. So let me give you an example. Some of you guys are absolutely crushing it at open houses. If I were to come to your open house, and even though I'm a realtor, I'd be like, damn, I want to buy a home with this person. They are freaking crushing it. I know that some of you guys in this group. So what do you do to crush it? I guarantee you're putting up more signs. I guarantee your energy's better. I guarantee you're practicing more. There's a process. So you have to ask yourself, what is that process I'm using to crush it? You want to share that in posts. Hey guys, here's how many signs I put up at open houses. Hey everyone, here is what my script is. Here's my objection handler. The next thing you want to do is you want to talk about the nuances, right? Because, you know, one of the greatest things that has been a good learning lesson for me, one time I was working out with a fitness coach and he's like, do a squat. And I'm like, okay, I do a squat. And I'm like, I already hate this. I hate squats, right? I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. He's like, no, I want you to lean back a little bit further. And I want you to, adjust your body this way. And with about 1% change in my body, I finally felt what a squat feels like. I finally felt it in the right muscle. I finally felt it happening the right way. Now, those are the nuances. And that's where you need to be somebody who's good at something to share the nuances. So an example for a nuance in open houses is, one of the things I do, I will preview new construction communities and I'll have a sheet that I bring with me to my open house, and it says, want to tour the local new construction? Here's the pricing sheet. Contact me for a tour. I have them available Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Why do I do that? Clients don't know that we help them with new construction, and they're probably on their way to the new construction. So I need to catch them with marketing before they head over there. So those are the nuances. Do you guys get that? Do you guys see how that is important? Awesome. And then you want to document the journey. You want to share the good and the bad. You know, my wife and I started in real estate together in January. So blessed that through the fast forward movement, through people like Elias, through people like Kyle Whistle, through people like Dan Beer, they poured into me. And as a result, I was able to tell my wife, you get to quit your job. You can join me in real estate. And I mean, we had always wanted to do that together, but it was something that it was like such a cool moment for us. And, you know, with that being said, we promised to document that journey on social media, and we talked about the good and the bad. And if you don't think us sitting across from each other, some things were thrown at each other, some things were said. I had to say sorry more times than I ever want to say in my whole life again, right? Like there was a journey behind that, right? And there was conversations, and we shared that on social media. And you know what happens when you're real and you stand up and say, hey, I'm not the best husband. I make mistakes. I wasn't prepared to be in leadership, you know, doing this, and I wasn't prepared for this. People are like, wow, that's so cool. I'd love to hear that. Keep going. They just freaking encourage you. I mean, that's awesome, right? So again, I want to relate this to you guys, Team Fast, because you guys are real. I saw almost all the videos you guys posted, and you're not afraid to be, you know, yourself. And it's that uniqueness that's going to make you successful, and just show up and be yourself. I think Elias mentioned creativity in this market, and you guys will find I'm not the most creative person. I'm just going to put that out there. I eat the same thing for breakfast every day the last 5 years. Like I'm not super creative, but I'm cool being myself. I'm cool. I wear one white shirt, one white collared shirt. You will probably never see me in another collared shirt since I started in real estate. Ever since I found out that, you know, multiple mega successful people, they don't like to waste time making decisions on what color shirt they want. That's weird to most people. That should be weird to you. That's weird to my wife, right? I'll have to wear some different color shirts just to, you know, not look weird in front of family and friends and stuff, but I'm cool being myself. That's who I am. And this is what's going to be so good for you guys. So think about, who's my tribe? Who am I in my natural, authentic self? Right. And so for some of you guys, that might be, you know, dog lovers, right? I'm a huge dog lover. And maybe you want to start a group of dog loving realtors. Man, that'd be the happiest Facebook group on planet Earth. I would love that. So you guys get what I'm saying, though. Build the agent to agent Facebook group, talk about something you're crushing it in, or a passion you have, right? And document the journey, document the steps, share the nuances. We all clear on that? Raise your hand if you guys are cool with that. Awesome. Cool. Tactic number 3. I have an agent to agent referral newsletter where I share value, and I have over 1,000 subscribers to it. Over 1,000 subscribers. So every 2 weeks, 1,000 realtors across the country get my newsletter, and it's all about value. So here's a visual of what it looks like. It's a video, text, hey, do you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, right? And a photo of myself and my beautiful wife. That's it. You should be able to see it in 1 second. We'll get back to that. Now, as I'm going through the agent to agent newsletter, I'm not thinking about myself. That's the temptation. I am somebody who likes processes. I'm somebody who likes systems. I'm somebody who just jams with operations. Guess what my audience wants to hear the least about? Systems and operations. They want to hear about, how do I get leads? That's what they want to hear about. How do I leverage my business? How do I do this or that? So I ask myself, what are the main challenges of my audience? They want leads. They sometimes want systems. The ones that want to really scale want systems, and they want a work-life balance. All of you guys know what it's like to be going on multiple appointments a week, end up on a Friday night. You just got done with an appointment. You leave the office at 9 o'clock. And you're like equally proud of yourself, but equally like, man, I really wish I could have went to my friend's dinner. or man, I really wish I could show up for my spouse, but I'm tired right now. So that work-life balance is really important to realtors, because for the first time, a lot of us don't have a boss and we need to regulate that. So think about the challenges they have. Now you ask yourself, what content can I create around that? You know, here's a great opportunity in the content space, fitness. A lot of real estate agents, they admire people like John Cheplack. They admire people like Elias. They admire people who are really going after it with their health. Why? Because it's now a popular topic to talk about the connection between health and mindset. And so that would be something I'd be talking about. I'd be like, hey, what's my morning routine? What is a 75 hard? What do I eat in a day? You would be surprised how much your audience will just crave that stuff. They're already watching it on Facebook, or on YouTube. Why wouldn't they be watching it from you, right? So think about that. What content can you create around that? Then you want to ask yourself, how do I summarize that in 59 seconds or less? I have a challenge in my teaching style. I can come across as a professor. I have to take my professor cap off, my goggles off, and I have to loosen up a little bit before I talk to people, because I can be very technical. Technical makes people sleep. I don't want to make people sleep. I want to get them engaged. I want to get them I want to get them energized. So I have to simplify my message in 59 seconds or less. So how do I do that? I will create a newsletter that is skimmable. It has high skimmability. Subject line, how to. They're going to know exactly what they're going to get in a matter of seconds. How to, this one was my pre-listing process. Everything I do before listing a home, home inspection, termite inspection, all that stuff. My Steven's transparent sale program is what I call it. So I documented that in there, how to, so they know what they're going to get. Skimmable, you should be able to look at it in 1 second or less, maybe 2 seconds. You should be able to see the whole email, and as minimal as possible with text. You guys see I've got 4 or 5 sentences there, right? How many emails do you get a day as a realtor? Do you honestly want me to start off my email by saying it all started when I was born? No, you want me to get to the point. You want me to be like, here's what you're going to learn. Here's the nuggets. Click here if you want to learn further. That's how you should think about it. So whenever you're delivering a marketing message, when you're in your email newsletter, ask yourself, how quickly am I getting to the point? And how can I get to the point more quickly? So that's my strategy with that. Now, some of you guys might ask, well, how do you get your emails? How do you do that? Well, I build the list with value grabs. So if you guys were to look at my Facebook, you would see, one day I posted, would anybody like a copy of my seller weekly update process, how I update my sellers weekly? And I had 328 comments on that post. I was able to add 200 emails to my newsletter that day. So that is how I'm getting it, is I'm giving value. And so the Gary Vaynerchuk approach, jab, jab, hook. Value, value, value. Here's value. Here's value. Here's how you get better with your life. Here's how you get better in your business. And give, 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 give. Ask for an email. Give, 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 give. Ask for an email. And that's how I'm building that list so fast. So that's tactic number 2. Elias, how am I doing on time? How much time do I have left?
You're doing really good, man. Let's I guess wrap up right around 9:15. That way we can leave some room for Q&A.
Perfect.
But if you need to go a little bit past that, bro, we're all engaged right now, man. Run your route.
Beautiful. So 2 resources, because we went through the 3 tactics, 2 resources that are going to help you with this. One is going to be a virtual assistant. And the reason you want a virtual assistant is because a lot of these referrals go out in Facebook groups. So one of the things that you can do to get business right now is you can add yourself to all the EXP and agent to agent referral groups. Just go to Facebook, search groups, search agent referral. There's hundreds of them. You want to get in there and you want to start seeing the referrals. Why do you want a virtual assistant? Because one of these referrals will come in one of the groups about every other day. So there's going to be maybe 2 or 3 opportunities for a given week that you're going to compete against, but you don't want to be spending all day on Facebook, just basically searching all the Facebook groups. So that's the way that I've automated it, is with a virtual assistant. My virtual assistant costs me $480 a month. It's not rocket science. You should hire every single agent, solo, part-time, team member. Everybody should have a virtual assistant. So also, when I go to conferences, I'll get a stack of business cards, but I want to have somebody add those into my CRM. I'm not the data guy. I'm not going to be sitting there. You know, these cards end up on my desk and my seats in my car. I hope you guys are normal like me in that these cards never end up in your database. So I have that virtual assistant that will add them to the database. The second resource is send out cards. Send out cards is a tool where you can automate sending birthday cards, and you can automate sending Starbucks cards to people. So and basically you type in the message you want to send, and it makes it look like it's your handwriting. So for example, I might send a card to Elias. Thank you so much for the referral for Laguna Niguel, California. Here's a Starbucks gift card on me. Enjoy a cup of coffee while I take care of this client like their family. And then I'm on to the next, right? So send out cards is key. Virtual assistant, send out cards, that's a given. Last secret in this, and this is where you guys, if you're going to go after this lead source, you guys are going to have to become excellent at customer service. You need to become excellent at sales and excellent at service. Those are the skill sets. Those are the things you need to do every single day. Read sales books, practice sales scripts, understand customer service, think like Jeff Bezos, think like Nordstrom's, think like the bigger companies, and think about the customer experience you're providing. What's the number one frustration with realtors when they refer another realtor? They don't get updates. That's the number one frustration, is the realtors don't like to update them. On top of that, when I call realtors for an update and say, hey, I referred my family member to you, I haven't heard back in 2 weeks, what's going on? They get mad at you like you're trying to micromanage them. That doesn't work. You need that transparent communication. So what do I do for all my referral partners? I have 5 milestone texts that go out, and I let them know at that first meeting how it went, what the connection was, and if they're going to be working with us. Secondly, I update them when the listing is signed. Third, once the offer is accepted. 4, once contingencies are removed. And 5, once their check is on its way. So I'm thinking about all the ways I can update them. And when their offer is accepted, I'll send a text like, hey, I just want to say thank you so much for the referral. We found them a nice home here in Ladera Ranch, California. Here's a link. We got it $20,000 under the listing price, and we're getting a credit for repairs. Just wanted to let you know. So I'm sharing the journey with them so that they have a reason to reach out to the client, congratulate them, and sometimes they'll help them stick in the deal. So with that being said, that's my number one secret, is my milestones, to make sure I'm always communicating. And I'm sure you guys do that on your real estate transactions, right? You guys are updating the clients. Your home inspections here. Here's what you can expect. Appraisals here. Here's what you can expect. So that's what I'm doing with all my agent referral partners. So those are the 3 strategies that I use. Those are the 2 resources. That's my biggest secret. So now I'm going to show you guys a little bit how I add value to agents. So if you guys want, I'll send you my 36-page objection handler manual book. It's relevant objections. And that's one of the things when I asked Elias, I said, what describes a fast agent, right? Are they just like, do they just run fast? Like, what is a fast agent? He's like, they are relevant. They are authentic. They are relevant. So you want to be relevant? You have to use relevant scripts. The scripts I was raised on when I started in the business, it's like they went to like the worst car salesman in town and were like, what do you do to get clients? And those are the scripts I was taught. So I've made a very relevant booklet on what to do, and I'm happy to share that with you guys. One of the biggest things that helps me achieve my goals is setting yearly goals. Problem is, most agents don't know how to craft a life vision, how to identify your values, how to come up with a mission statement. So I developed a annual yearly goal setting guide that I use myself, and I used it to buy the things that I want, to build the business I want, do the things I want. So that's something I'm going to share with you guys. And also my family photo day playbook. I was thinking, what's the easiest client event to implement? It's a family photo day. You hire a photographer, you rent a park, You pay them to take photos of people, you hang out, you connect, and you drink. How freaking easy is that? Like, it doesn't get easier than that. So I have an entire playbook. I'll show you guys exactly how much I spent, what I do, how I advertise, the Eventbrite, all of that. All you guys have to do is take 2 steps. Step number 1, subscribe on my YouTube channel, where you will get incredible, amazing content. I promise you, it's going to be great stuff. So check that QR code and subscribe. Once everyone's done with that, we'll go to step 2. And again, as I'm creating this YouTube channel, I think about my audience. What are the challenges they have? And I'm creating videos and I'm creating content around that. Let me see here on that. So that's the YouTube channel. If anybody didn't get that or wants a link, I will post it in the chat. Step number 2, follow me on Instagram. And my handle is @StevenRealtor. Follow me on Instagram and DM me your email address, and I will have my assistant send you that value bundle. Lots of good stuff on that. So, and super shout out to my wife for making me this presentation. Had I made the slide deck from this, it would have been like stick figures and crayons. So I'm super grateful for her in that. Some of you guys might be asking, what areas does Steven serve? I'm right here in Rancho Santa Margarita, So we serve all these cities. This is what's important with the agent-to-agent referrals. You want to focus on a smaller area. Why? Another realtor wants to refer you a client in an area you specialize in. I can sell real estate in so many different cities and MLSs, but I'm not going after referrals in all these cities. Could I close a few more sales doing that? Probably. Could I lose a reputation quickly doing that? More than likely. So I'm doing it in the areas where I know Tustin, Irvine, Foothill Ranch, Lake Forest, San Juan, Dana Point, San Clemente, all those areas. Raise your hand if you guys have ever been to Orange County. Can I get a... Awesome. So a lot of you have been here before. Some of the areas you might think of are Disneyland. I'm about 15 minutes south of that. So with that being said, you know, my kind of parting advice to you guys in this is that it comes back to amplifying who you are. You have to amplify who you are, get clear on who you are, what type of tribe you want to attract in this. Then you go out and you take massive action and you start to fill up your referral database. And you guys will see, you know, hanging around like-minded people, getting referrals from fellow realtors is the most fulfilling lead source there is. I can call any of my referral partners and I can say, dude, I'm struggling with how to handle payroll right now. I know you used to be a CPA. Would you mind taking time walking me through it? Or, you know, I can meet up with them in an event and we just have a blast. We just let loose. And that's the kind of lead source that I want, where I could build it around the life I want. So I hope you guys got a lot of value out of this. Thank you guys for letting me be your guest today. And, you know, thank you, Elias, for bringing me on.
Yeah, man.
Hello?
So great take. Ilona, hold on. We're going to get to questions in a second. But so much great information, Steven. And I just want you guys to really, really focus on a couple things here. First off, what rooms are you guys in and what type of masterminds are you attending and how are you building in the real estate community? And listen, you guys, I wasn't a part of Fast Forward Movement 2 years ago. Steven wasn't a part of Fast Forward Movement. And that's the way that we met, through these beautiful rooms that we're in that are all about growth and contribution. So first and foremost, you guys, get yourself out there, start meeting people, because those are the people that are going to be referring you business as you guys grow. A couple things here. I know we have some questions, and one of the questions were from one of our team members who's relatively new in this space. And I think this is a good question. I wanted to hear your answer, and I'll answer the question as well. How would you suggest building credibility with an agent if you are brand new? That probably comes up quite a bit, especially if agents are looking to build like we are suggesting. So what would your advice be on that particular question?
Definitely. Great question. Before I answer that, I just want to share real quick that, you know, I started off the story by saying, you know, I was scared was going to lose the house, thought I bought my dream home, couldn't figure out how to do it. And, you know, really struggled in business on my own before joining the Fast Forward Movement. I was having a challenge. And after joining the Fast Forward movement, my business went from 0 to over 500,000 in GCI in a very short period of time. My wife and I were able to sell what we thought was our dream home. We love this house. We thought this was our dream home. And we bought a $1.6 million home that is our dream home, is our forever home. And I only share that with you guys to understand that it's the power of who you surround yourself with in this group. And I just want to say, I just have to give gratitude because people like Elias, people like Kyle Whistle, Dan Beer, they poured into me. And it really is possible when you guys align yourself with the right people. So finishing off that story before I forgot, the answer to that question is you show up as a credible person, okay? When you don't have the knowledge, you have to overcome it with grit. Okay, so if I were to start a brand new industry tomorrow, how am I going to have credibility? You'll see my car there first. You'll see my car there last. You'll see me doing more activities. You won't see me making excuses. You'll see me using my lunch break to make additional calls. Like grit is the difference between, you know, what you do when you have credibility and what you don't. Now I can show up and I can say, I've been doing it this long and this and that. But before, I just had to talk to more people. So the question is not, how do I show credibility? The question is, how do I kick the snot out of the competition by out activitying them? And that's what you're going to want to do. Now, from a very tactical standpoint, you might want to pay someone on Fiverr to develop a few images of you to just talk about, you know, some of your characteristics, the areas you serve. Presentation matters, right? You can literally put 5 stars above your head. You don't have to say it's a testimonial, but you can do a photo with 5 stars above your head. And the marketing image is that this person is a 5-star real estate agent. This person has testimonials. So you can use image marketing. I recommend a book called 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing for that.
Love this. I love this. And Tony, to that as well, is that if you don't have the credibility, then clearly define what your processes are, what your systems are. Do you understand what it takes to get a client from start to finish through the buyers, through buying a home? Can you clearly articulate what it takes to sell your home in this competitive market? What are the things that consumers need to know? Like, you are educated enough to be able to provide the highest level of value. So you lean into the things that you truly, truly understand. Nobody needs to question it because you're always providing high levels of value. So Steven, I love this. Who else has a question that they want to ask before we kind of wrap up this session? I want to get some takeaways from everybody. Anybody else have any questions that they want to ask Steven before we kind of wrap up the room? Going once, going twice. All right, cool. Let's do this. I always like this part of the session. Oh, Chanel. Hi, Chanel. How are you?
Sorry.
Welcome. Let's
I'm
hear
still
from
waking
you.
up. Hi, so thanks for an awesome presentation. I'm a new agent, totally needed that. And just simply moving forward, Steven or Elias or anyone, what would you recommend for my first read in this industry? I think reading something would actually really help me a lot in my downtime from learning and my other full-time job.
I love this. I'm an avid reader, but let's do this. There's right now 99 people in the room.
Okay.
You guys have been here. You guys have read. If you've been a part of my organization, part of my coaching, we have read books. We have gone over and over and over again. So I want you guys to put in your favorite books, best reads, life-changing reads. My recommendation right now for you, Chanel, is Atomic Habits. That book will reshape the way that you look at business habits and the things that you should be doing every single day. And I'm going to take you old school right now. There is a book called The Greatest Salesman on Earth. Now, this is by Og Mandino. Any of Og Mandino's writing will absolutely be a game changer. That small little book will take you about 6 months to read because you have to read a script 3 times a day. So once again, it's habit stacking, it's habit stacking, it's habit stacking. And there's one other book that I would recommend personally, changed my life at 23 years old. It was called Psycho-Cybernetics. It is looking at your mind as a mechanism and how you feed your mind and what you feed your mind. Those are some great books that have had a high level impact, but I can go on and on and on about books, but those are 3 books that I would recommend. Steven, I would love to hear your recommendations, and you guys light up the chat for Chanel.
Definitely. Yeah, so I wouldn't say there's one book because a book is going to hit you in the season you're in. And so there might be one good book for the season you're in. And I would ask yourself, what one skill or character trait would double my success in the next 6 months? And then based on that, I would, start asking books around that character trait, because I think that would help. One book that is foundational is How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's an older book, but it's, the idea to inspire people to cooperate with you. And I'm so amazed as I go through every transaction, and these habits of listening and connecting and validating and showing people that they matter have been my huge business tools for me. From a practical level, The Optimal Salesperson is a great book teaching you how to have a sales process, how to just be a sales 101. If you don't have a background in sales, that's a great book. And then, Think and Grow Rich. Again, this one kicks it way back, but actually I'm going to recommend a different one. I'm sorry. The Purpose-Driven Life. One of the things that lights me on fire, one of the things that I know lights Elias on fire is, dude, if you were to wake us up at 3 a.m. and be like, what's your life purpose? We would tell you clearly, we would tell you right there. And we know why we're here on earth. And that book was very helpful in teaching me, like, why am I here? What's my purpose? What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to give back and contribute? And contribution, man, there's nothing that keeps you going like contribution. So that's a good one from a personal perspective.
I love it. Chanel, really, really great question. And I think that Steven hit it right on. There's going to be books that you read that are not relevant to you right now, but a year from now, you're gonna be like, wow, this is the perfect time for this book. The Power of One More, right? Do the Impossible. There's going to be books at right time, right seasons of your life. So that was well said, Steven. Let's do this, you guys. I want to get a couple key takeaways from a few people. Ophelia Vargas, I'm going to go over to you. I just want to hear a high-level takeaway from today's session, or perhaps a contribution to the talk that we just had.
I really, in all aspects, actually, just providing value goes a long way. And I hadn't focused so much with other agents, but really giving value to any client, seller, or buyer has produced so much in return because it just comes across like you're not salesy. You're not really trying to convince them. You're providing knowledge and value, and you're gaining trust. So in this, this is just reinforcing, and it just just solidifies that value goes a long way. And How to Win Friends and Influence People gives that too. I remember that book a long time ago. Good.
Yeah. I love it, Ophelia. I love it. And I love you being on here. Miles Tillman, good to see you, big dog. I would love to hear one key takeaway from you from today's session, or perhaps a contribution for the conversation.
Yeah, first off, I just want to thank you, Steven, for, dropping your gems today. Definitely put some puzzle pieces together that I've been thinking about for a while, especially where you specified what's the ideal range for referral partners and trying to find your tribe. I feel like before I just mainly focused on who's active in a certain market and doing numbers, as opposed to like, oh, do we have like interests? Do I like football, et cetera? So I appreciate you for that. And yeah, I'll definitely be looking for your content.
Miles, I think
Thanks,
for you,
Miles,
man,
appreciate that.
You specialize in a very niche market of working with investors and working with fixers. Not everyone knows the process of like, hey, if I have this home, should we fix it and put it back on the market, or should we sell it as is? A lot of people don't know that market. So I would create this nationwide syndicate of investor opportunities from Georgia to Atlanta to all these places that you're traveling to, and bring people in and then teach other realtors, this is what you need to look for if you're working with an investor. And these are the types of things that you can do to the house or not do to the house, or highest return on your investment, lowest return on the investment. You have a huge avenue right now, brother. Huge.
Thank you, Elias. I appreciate that. That's a good idea.
You, man. Thanks for being here. Melody Cleone, would love to hear your key takeaways, high-level contribution to the conversation. Let's go to you.
Yeah, I think it's amazing, everything that you said, Steven. Hi, I'm also attending the Fast Forward Movement calls. I've definitely seen you on there, and I admire your work. I definitely am a big advocate of reading, just like Elias. I'm oscillating between different books. In fact, Elias bought me a couple of books this year that really helped me out as far as body language and the way you speak, and how body language communicates almost before you do. So I've been practicing a lot of those things. I'm reading a new book right now that was referred to me by John Cheplack, which was about copy. And so I've been working on my copy a lot, my newsletter a lot, and what I'm saying and in my marketing material to other people. And it's interesting how you can restructure it in order to catch eyes just by making some tweaks here and there in your marketing material. And so that's definitely been working for me a lot. And I'm a big morning routine person. So Elias knows this about me. I wake up and I read and I meditate and I work out and I do all of the things, even though I'm 5 months pregnant. So still trying to get it.
That's right. That's right. The baby bump. So you guys, before we start to wrap up this session, if you guys are a guest on the line today, and if you found value in this call, what I want you to do is I want you to email Judith at Fast Agents. I just put her email in our chat. If you are interested in coming to future masterminds, future group coachings, if you want to get alerts for special guests that we're having, in the coming weeks, we're having the president of Never Split the Difference. He is the president. He's actually Chris Voss's son that runs the entire company. He's going to come in and talk to us about high-level communication and high-level negotiations. We're in an era now where we get to negotiate. 10 months ago, we weren't really in a negotiation market. So that's the market that we're in. So we're going to be bringing in more guest speakers to add value, just like Steven did today. So if you're interested in learning more, you want to know about the events and you want to get an email when these things happen, make sure that you email Judith at Fast Agents and she'll make sure that you guys are on that list. So as we close out the room, you guys, like I said, you're here in this room for 2 reasons. You are truly growth-minded and you want to contribute at the highest level. I promise you this, if you're in this room long enough, you're going to hear something from Kuhn, from George, from Dominic, from Chanel, from Melody, from Miles, from Adrian. You're going to hear something that somebody said on this call that they came because they feel like they have something to contribute at the highest level. That's what makes Keep It Moving a really, really powerful group. So I appreciate you guys more than you guys will ever know. I'm super, super grateful because when we look back at this, right, when you think right now about your referral network, maybe you don't have one. Maybe that's 2 people, maybe that's 3 people, but at least you're starting. When we started this group right now, or right here, this was 5 people that came together 3 times a week for script role play. And now it's become what it is today because of you guys showing up and doing the work. And so just start somewhere, you guys. Start building, start documenting your journey as we have stated over and over and over again. So Steve, I am sending you huge love and light. And I'm sure you've got tons of people that are going to download your strategies and follow you on YouTube and subscribe to your channel. So looking forward to working with you more, bro, and collaborating in the future. I'm going to be spending quite some, a few days a month down in San Diego, as well as in Irvine and in Whittier. So looking forward to connecting with you while I'm down there, my man. So let's do this, you guys. Let's go out there and make the best out of our day. Absolutely crush it. I would highly recommend that you guys share some of this on social media today. Create a video about this, about what you learned, tag Steven, and let's create a buzz from today's event. So Steven, any parting words before we head out, brother?
Yeah, I think one of my favorite quotes by Mark Twain is if you don't know your life's purpose is to go out and find your life's purpose. And I want to really challenge everyone. If you don't know exactly why you're here, what you're made to do, and the specific contribution you're made to have, I want to challenge you to start asking yourself the question, why am I here? What's my contribution? What do I love to do? And I invite you to go on that journey. And thank you guys for letting me be here.
I love it. I love it. As always, you guys keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and go out there and have an amazing, amazing day. Thank you all. And thank you, Steven.